a senior live.
Yeah, it says meeting is being live streamed. So I think we are live. Yes. All right. Uh, Welcome everyone. This is DCL Primetime, and we are back with another exciting season, another exciting year. We are a week late, but that was just to make sure everything was sorted out, the format, and we had quite a few things that we needed to make sure technically we were sound. So we are back here with our analysts. Gabaji should be joining us pretty soon. We have Viju here. Viju, welcome back. Hope you had a great rest of the year after winning the cup. Uh, Hopefully you're hungry for the next season and one more triumphant campaign.
I don't know about the triumphant campaign, Parthu. If you saw what happened last week, we got decimated. All right, we'll get into that. But no, I'm happy to be back another year, but with the same team. But basically, I enjoy the company I get to have with you and with Gaba and occasionally KK, and then Satya behind the scenes kind of a thing. So I couldn't ask for a better team. So during the off season, I keep missing this because I miss the camaraderie. I miss us making fun of anything and everything. We don't take anything too seriously. We beat out the points. We talk about various things. Nothing is off limits. So I'm looking forward to it. In fact, before we started the season itself or go into the thing, I wanted to ask you, what's good this season, Parthiv? Last season to this season, if I had to ask you a question, you as a competitor, as a teammate, now an ex-committee member, what is different this season compared to last season? Bring us up to speed. People like me don't attend the captain's meeting, the committee's meeting, or anything like that, right? So somebody like me has no clue what's going on unless Satya updates me. And you know how Satya is, very rarely updates too many things.
So I think the two things which I think stand out this season. One is there are several new teams which have come in, and we still have a full pack of teams on both Division 1 and Division 2. There are some teams that have withdrawn, like Hitman. There's this. I think there's another team which was there,
Red
which is
Devils.
also sorry, Red Devils. Yes, Red Devils. Thank you, Red Devils. Though those were the two big names, which are Division 1 teams, which kind of disintegrated, and now we have uh, older uh, older teams like the Knockers who were there before reinstated, so that they are coming back, and a lot of player switches, and that is going to be something that we will talk about in maybe in one of the episodes, because there have been quite a few player switches, people moving from one team to the other or reuniting from back to their previous friends or teammates. So that's been quite a bit of chopping and changing going on, a lot of recruiting going on, and my friend KK will tell you all about that. And on the field, I think one big change that DCL committee has made is the review, which is being availed for both the batting and the fielding team. There's one review which the captains have at their discretion. Now, I haven't seen, like in the two games, I haven't seen it used really well, or not really being useful. But at least it's a good step in the direction. I think that that's something we should probably try to maybe use technology, maybe next year or so. Maybe try to go a level further. But that's an interesting event, or something that has been proposed by the committee. So I think
As
apart from that, I think we still have the same teams coming in competing. Division 1 is still very, very strong. So, and kudos to the committee again being able to schedule all the games, even though we have more teams coming every year. But the grounds are a little compromised, at least in the first 2 weeks. We'll talk about that as well. But
yeah, Parthiv, I see that our friend Gaba has joined. Welcome,
yes,
Gabaji, and he has developed a big beard. He's
he's not. He's
looking
still
like
in
a
the
very
future.
wise man now.
Hello
Gaba,
everyone.
welcome
Hello
to
Joy,
DCL
good to see you back.
Primetime. Good to see you. I really miss these guys. All right, I miss you guys. But tell me, from a committee's perspective, Parthu told about the review. I watched 2 games live of Glads. I don't think any review was taken in either of those 2 games. Other than the review, is there any major changes in DCL this year?
I think only rule that we have changed on the review side. I'm not sure whether it is useful at this point or not, but I see it might be helpful for the critical games, where there is the chance of reversing a decision. So the idea was in the earlier year, Vijubhai, as you know, that we if once umpire has taken a decision, umpire cannot reverse by himself, right? That was the
Yeah.
norm that we had. So this review system at least helps at that situation, where even the umpire has made a call and they can still take a review and then can go ahead and discuss with the leg umpire and eventually reverse the decision if they are convinced.
Okay.
There it might help. But again, it is on the trial basis at this point, based on the communication that the committee has shared with all the captains. It is on the trial basis. We will see for the initial 1 month or so. And if there's no complaint or lot of not trouble a lot on those aspects, we can continue. Otherwise, committee still holds the right to drop that rule in between the season as well.
Oh, in between the season as well, is it?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I think one of the things I'll just touch upon that in our game. I just saw, like, for the review system, pretty much everybody was signaling to the umpire. Now that is something which I think umpires need to be educated. It's only the captain's call after all. If the captain signals it, that's when the
Right.
review is acted upon. But I saw in my game, everybody, like the bowler, keeper, everybody was pointing to the umpire saying, "Oh, we need a review." And then I think they took it, and then the umpire said no, and then the captain was complaining, "Oh, I didn't say anything." And I'm
So
like,
my
dude.
biggest reservation for the review system was just because of the umpire. Already, if you ask me, we most of the game, I did 40-50% of the game, we do not have quality of umpires, right? Because people
Yeah.
send everybody from their team. Now we are adding one additional responsibility, as you are highlighting, Parthibai, that umpire should see this, umpire should see that, what all umpire will do when they are not even prepared to do umpiring, right? Because
Right.
captain pushed them to go to the ground, they come to the ground, they hardly go through the rules. Because my very first game, umpire came and one of the umpire did not even know that there is a review system.
Right.
So I
Exactly.
have to explain him the beginning. This is what it is, and there's that. So again, quality of umpire will be, we are putting more pressure on the umpire without a technology. And again, we are in the mercy of
Well,
umpires.
that is always the case in DCL. Like, the first few rounds is always going to be a few, umpiring decisions here and there. But I hope it all evens out towards, because it's a long season. So hopefully, one decision here or one decision there is, evens out towards the end of the year, end of the season.
Yep.
Anyways,
Yep.
let's get on to the games. We have quite a few games to cover. So the first game, and Gabaji, I think it's your game, Detroit Titans versus Raptors. It was a fantastic game, albeit I would love to know from you. Obviously we were playing next to each other. The grounds were much smaller than what we had seen, but you guys fought well. Both teams kind of at par, seesaw battle. I see 128 for 9, 131 for 8, and I think your star performer DG is continuing from last year, won the best batsman award last year, and he's off to a great start this year as well. Raptors, I think, snatched that victory away from you guys. I think Bota, obviously, playing the role that he always does under pressure. But once you got Bota out, I felt that's where the game was back to Titans. But then Harsha and Krishna, I think those guys somehow got the best of you guys. So I would love to know from you, Gabaji, how you saw this game and what was the game changing moment.
Yeah.
Love to know how that game changed.
So yeah, first of all, as you rightly pointed, that the ground dimensions was compromised, right?
This
So
is for
when
your game too. This is for your game too.
almost every game that has been played in that particular ground I don't know, blank grounds. I think only one or
Right.
two grounds. Every ground has only 140 to 150 feet boundary.
Yeah.
Even
Okay.
the Pokhris was playing just beside us. They were also the same. But nevertheless, so when I won the toss, I was actually confused what to do because I did not even know what total would be good for the 150 feet ground, because when I measured the dimension, it was 150 feet only. So I was not sure. So still, we decided to bat because we thought that it will be gonna be a high scoring game and it is better to put some total on the board. So when we started batting again, I think other than Praveen, nobody stood up really great. I think we just put here our inning around Praveen, but I think as a captain or as a batsman as well, I have more disappointment that our team, some or other batsmen would have stood up. We would have added another 20-25 runs easily. Because if you see towards the end that you did not highlight, Parag came and hit 2-3 sixes toward the end.
Mm. Yep.
So that means
That is
that
right.
that means if any other batsman would have got into in their zone and then would have got those couple of more boundaries, we would have been in a better on the first place. Like we would have at least close to 150 is what my thinking is. But again, I think 128 was also really a good total. We were having they other than Bota, they have Abhilash as well, right? So I was more a bit worried about the Abhilash because the kind of the class that he brings on the table, right? So I was more worried about to get the Abhilash on the very early in the stage, and we were able to get him as well. But Bota hit us in the between. We were also playing just for the audience who was not part of that ground at that week. The offside was also just 4 feet fence, Vijay. So
Okay.
Mm. Yep.
anything just you lift it, it is 2 runs. So Praveen also scored the same way, but it suits Bota more, Bota. So
Mm.
Bota was just going on the leg side and just picking everything on the off, you know. Eventually, it was a clean inning from the Bota that I don't remember that he has given any chances. And then eventually, when we got the chance, it was late. It was not a regular DCL game, Parthiv bhai. So if it would have
Mm.
been a regular DCL game after getting Bota, even 10 run was enough to win that game.
Right.
At least I would have been more comfortable even the 10 runs on the board. Like we had it in the Stars game where if you guys see, uh, there was one lefty. There was I forgot his name, but yeah, he
Shakar.
was playing. Huh? Shakir.
Shakir.
Yeah,
Shakar. Yeah.
Shakir.
Yeah.
Shakir. So
Yeah.
Shakir was playing fabulously. But as soon as we got that partnership broke, we just wrapped up
Mm.
in another 15 run was there and we won the game. But it was a different game. Batsmen were having more confidence to hit on the boundary. Eventually,
Mm.
Krishna came and hit those 2-3 boundaries and we are out of the game. Even the last 2-3 overs, we were having 14-15 runs to defend. It was not that it was one-sided. But it was just
Mm.
matter of one big boundary and then it came on this
Right.
way. I think Krishna played fabulous other than Butta because he was holding the nerves, you know, after 8 down, and I'm pretty sure I think they might not have. I don't know their batting strength down the line. They have a lot of new addition, but after
Yeah.
the Krishna, I do not see they have good batting remaining. So he had that pressure as well that he has to finish the game, and eventually he performed on that situation and won the game for Raptor. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. This is another team like I was talking about. Raptors have recruited quite a few new faces. They've got a lot of
They had a
influx.
merger with the Hitman, Parthibai. Let's
Yeah.
put this way. They
Yes.
had a
Hitman.
merger with Hitman and then added a couple of player on top of it.
Yeah. But it is surprising. I think it was Hitman going to Division 2 or was it
I
Division
think,
1?
yeah, I think so.
I
They
forget.
were going to, yeah,
I forget. But yeah, one or the other. But yeah, it was quite a big move to, just basically merge the teams together. So Raptors got the benefit of it. And they've got
yeah,
quite a few Bangladeshi young guns as well. So looks like Raptors looks good this season. We'll see how their fortune fluctuates.
yeah. They have
But
won
did you
two out of two.
anything? Yeah, anything you'd like to add here before I move to the next
Yeah,
one?
Partha, I have a whole bunch of things which I have written down,
Okay,
which I need to get it across. Heard
go
of
ahead. Go ahead.
Pinduoduo, PDD? That's a ticker symbol. It's a It's a stock on the New York Stock Exchange or Nasdaq, PDD, Pinduoduo,
Yep.
competitor for Alibaba and things like that. Well, we have a PDD. I mean, obviously, Gaba would have guessed it's Praveen Dige, but then the question is, what is the second D for, right? It's Praveen Dhamakedar Dige, all right? That's the new name which I'm giving him, all right? He has been the Dhamakedar man. You understand the meaning of that, Gaba bhai? He has been doing a lot of dhamakas. He's been doing dhamakas last season. He's continued 68 of 55 balls, Parthiv 3 sixes. Only Parag Karwade was the only other batsman with 18 of 18 balls. But the rest of the Titans, if you ask me that, sorry, Gababai, but it's a major disappointment. That's the honest truth. That includes you too, Gababai.
I told that.
Really,
I agree with that.
I really do not know what the rest of the Titans were doing, because Karwade got the job done and Karwade is going last, and you wonder why in the world is he going last, because if he can hit like that, no reason why he should be going last. And Praveen is Praveen.
I think the bigger question is, how is Ronnie Patel going open? That is the bigger question.
Well, I think Ronnie thinks he's a great batsman at this point. I'm not sure if too many people in the league are convinced about that, So sometimes you got to understand that it's not about you, it's about the team. And that's a good question for Gaba Bhai as to, hey, you know what? Anybody can feel anything, but at the end of the day, it's what you put out there. Ronnie is a great bowler. I think he can bat very well at the number 6, number 7 spot, but I'm not so sure if opening is his cup of tea. But leaving that aside, I think Titans bowling, I think generally is very miserly. I was surprised when Raptors, were able to score that many runs, because I was like, I didn't expect, at least the Titans I saw last week. But now if you're saying it's a 150-yard ground, then everything changes, right? But again, I think Kalyan and Praveen were the pick of the bowlers. If you look at their economy and things like that, they did a lot of good bowling. But here is the problem, Parthiv. Titans ran into the money man of DCL. You see this? There is one money man in DCL, Parthiv. He's the money man. He's the money man. The money man is, who's the money man? The money man is none other than Pradeep Bhotta. All right. I mean, and you know what, Parthiv? Titans spent a lot of money, in the sense they gave up a lot of runs, Parthiv. A lot of runs they gave to the money man. And the money man of DCL spent, money like how, those customers of Gangubai and Gangubai Katawadi spent money. He was scoring at will. But let me tell you, very rarely I've seen Gaba lose a close game. But I think I also understand why probably Gaba lost the game, because he already gave us the answer. He was confused. What is the right score to put out here? What should you do? And if the ground's dimensions have changed, I think we have a big problem. So I'll give him the benefit of doubt. All right, Gaba bhai, go ahead.
So I'll tell you another scenario. We met in the break. Parthiv's game was going just beside our game.
Yeah.
After 12 overs mark, we were about 46 or some run, and they are 112 run. So how will I not get a doubt, right? Other team that right bowls also very similar, right? The Jante guy is a defensive player, right? We have seen his score. He is hitting 50 runs in the 12 over mark.
We'll get to that game, because I was following that game live. You see, means not live watching the game, looking at the scorecard and the way the Bulls scorecard was going. I was like, what in the world is going on? But I didn't realize that.
Why I'm saying why will not I get a doubt when I see somebody is hitting 100% in 12 hours and I'm 46 marks,
Yeah, but you know what, Parthiv? Let's not take away credit from the money man, because he came in at the third ball, and he lasted till 19.5. That means almost 20 overs he was there in the middle. And the very first ball he hit it for a 2. And by the time he left, the score was, he started at 0. And by the time he left, the score was 112. This is why I called him the money man of DCL. That is why I feel that this guy has ice cold water running in his veins. I do not know. Very often, many people underrate him, and that is a big mistake to make because you really need to get rid of him as quickly as possible. He's a superstar, Parthiv, but with no, putting on airs, nothing. Very humble, very down to earth guy. I like the guy. I like him as a team player, and he also knows how to get the best out of people. He got the best out of Kiran, and now Kiran is the skipper. Another very underrated guy. I don't need to remind you. He is so underrated that you guys did not even pick him in that superstar-laden team, even though he was the guy getting all the wickets there. Now he's the skipper, and somehow both these guys seem to perform very well for the other person. So now Botta is returning the favor, and he's doing fantastic job. They stamped their class on this thing. But you know what? You're saying the great additions. If you ask me, the real great addition is Arun Shankar. He has 5 overs, 1 maiden, 12 runs, 3 wickets. He was the skipper of Hitman.
Yeah.
I think, Parthiv, you know this. I think in one of the games you saw him. He's the guy who moves the ball a lot.
Yes.
And I think your guys had some problem with Hitman when Hitman played you guys, because Arun was the guy who was the wrecker in chief. And sure enough, in this game, once again, he had a fabulous game. Krishna Shankar, 5 overs, 24 runs, 4 wickets. I think they were the deadly duo for the Raptors. But if you ask me, Parthiv, chasing 128 is a very tall task, no matter what you say. And you really need ice cold water in your veins. You need a supercomputer of a brain, which Botta seems to have, because he's very good in the chase. I mean, you call Kohli the chase master. I would say that Botta is the chase master of DCL, because I've seen him many times chasing a total down. And so he seems to, if you look through that entire scorecard, Parthiv, I mean, at no point of time he let the bowling dominate him. He seemed to be totally in control. And then Krishna put the cherry on the top by finishing it off with a grand 6. But Kiran, Botta, Arun, and Krishna, I think they should take a bow. This is a fantastic win. And guess what? I think they're 2 matches and 2 wins, if I'm not mistaken. They're right on the top of the table with Fighters. So for me, Fighters and Raptors are the 2 teams which have really surprised me this season, because they both have come out of the gate like bulls charging, and they both have done fabulously well. And you got to give them the credit for both those teams, because they are my surprises, pleasant surprises. I did not know what to expect from Raptors, but whatever I have seen, man, they are making that merger look super good right now.
Yep, I think it'll be testing times when they come against the big guns. But yes, so far so good for Raptors and Fighters. Talking about so far so good, the next game, GLCC Knockers. GLCC is off the blocks really well as well. 2 out of 2 wins, and this win, I'm probably going to skip it. I'm just going to announce it, and we're going to skip it because this was a one-sided game. But they just blew Knockers away, and this is the second time that they've done that. They've chased 50 in 6 overs, going really after the bowling. And the new recruits that GLCC has, that's something that we'll talk about as well when they match up next week with Strikers. But I wanted to go to the next game, which was also very interesting.
I have a question to Viju bhai about GLCC team, how he sees GLCC team this year, because this is the first show, and I see the team that has improved significantly is the GLCC because of the different player combination they have got. So Viju bhai, what is your opinion at this point on the GLCC?
Gaba bhai, they have the who is who of DCL, right? But let me tell you something. If they run into KRCC, I'll bet on KRCC. Even though they have the top dogs of this thing, because whatever I saw this weekend, let me tell you, I am a believer in KRCC, and I feel that KRCC can take down GLCC. So GLCC's biggest problem is not Glads or whoever else you want to think of. I think the entire league has a problem, and that's a KRCC-sized problem. Because whatever I saw this weekend, let me tell you, that was an eye-opener. I I don't think GLCC can beat KRCC. That's just my opinion. But again, remember, last season, GLCC absolutely trashed KRCC. But that's Kaushik going off on a. I think if Kaushik can get going like that, then probably he can beat anybody single-handedly. But again, the question is whether Kaushik can do that and whether whatever happened last season was an aberration. My feeling is it was an aberration. None of us expected that. I don't think Oni was fully fit. And this season, actually, Oni is not even one of the top 5 bowlers. I can list you 5 bowlers who are better than Oni on that team. So I don't know. It's very difficult to this thing. But they have a great collection of talent, but honestly, the GLCC bowling is there to be taken. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And in
Alright.
DCL bowling wins championships, so you know that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is very true. All right, next game is between the two new entries into this Division 1, that is Stingers and Thunderbolts. This was a very, very close game. Congratulations to Thunderbolts. They got the better of Stingers just by one mere wicket. It must have been a very exciting game between these two sides. And last year, too, they had some really exciting games as well in their division between these two teams as well. So I think in this game, I would love to know if both these sides, do you guys see them going, further along? Do you guys see them staying in Division 1 or maybe even making the playoffs? So I'd love to know from Gabaji. How about you?
So first thing, I think this is for the audience and a couple of more people who doesn't know. The Thunderbolts qualify for the Division 1. Stinger did not. And then we were short of team in the
Yes.
Division 1, and they opted for it. So that shows the confidence on the Stingers. So kudos to the Stingers team and the captain who thought that they still want to play
Guys, this is not stingers, it's stingers. They are supposed
Stingers.
to sting. Okay, I'll
Stingers.
tell you, Jagan Konda murders the English language. He calls them stingers. They are not stingy guys. Guys, it's supposed to be bees are stinging, all right? A bee stings you. And Jagan Konda always calls them stingers. They are not stingy guys. They are stingers. And the Stingers team is a good team. At least give Alagu Paulraj for accepting the opportunity to go to Division 1 when so many other people wanted to exit Division 1.
So
I mean,
that kind of reservation that we have seen, that where people or team doesn't want to play in the Division 1, this team came forward and wanted to play in the Division 1. So that is where kudos to them. And also, I think they have a few new additions like Hari Krishnan, Muralidharan. I think he was a star player last year.
Yes.
And they have got him into their team. So that is again a good addition for them. And I think he played really good inning for them, to get them a decent total of 82. And along with Weber and Nile, those 3 people contributed, right? So this looks like a good total. But eventually, Thunderbolts come with a lot of experience, because Thunderbolts is a team where they play almost all the tournament across Michigan in the softball. So their team gel and everything is on top notch. So that is where I see the difference. And our friend Avinash also scored really good there, along with Gotham and a couple of more Mithilesh. But the question, the question, I'm coming to the question that you asked. I would say, again, the DCL, I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but yeah, they might have some challenges for sure in the Division 1, because every game will be where they have to come and fight and try to win the game. We'll see halfway down or how they perform and how they come up. But at this point, the top 5, I'm pretty sure half season also will very hard for us to determine top 5, because I see couple of people who were lagging on the 6th and 7th position last year, they have improved as well. So they are putting competition to the previous year's top 5 team. So at this time, top 5 teams not gonna be easy. Moreover, we have a lot of conflict at the F40. I don't think, based on the rule change that I was trying to explain to you guys, it's gonna be hard for F40 players to even play both the side. Even leaving halfway or something is gonna be tough.
All right. Yes, Viju. What? How do you
Yeah,
think?
I think Hariharan Muralidharan is an absolutely great addition. Parthiv, it was an excellent game by both teams. Again, I think Kumresh, Vaibhav, and Neelay had excellent support roles. But let me credit Thunderbolts. They gave only 7 wides, Parthiv, in 24 overs. Really, no freebies. Uh, Stingers also did a wonderful job. They were actually stingy in that department in this particular game. They too gave only 7 wides. But if you ask me, 4 Stingers batted very well. And, Gautam, Avi, and then for Thunderbolts, 4 of them batted well. Our own friend Avi, Gautam, Gurunathan, and Mithilesh, they all batted well. And so you can find that I don't know. Abhinav Reddy for Thunderbolts was the difference maker. So Vinod Ganeshan, the skipper, they both picked. What is that? I think Abhinav picked 4 wickets for 18 runs, and Vinod Ganeshan led from the front with the ball. 5 overs, 12 runs, 3 wickets. So between the two of them, they gave only 30 runs and picked up 7 wickets. Now that's the ball game, if you ask me. If you ask me, both teams are winners, almost identical strengths. They went against each other. Somebody had to win. But if you ask me, on the other side, Jagan, your former buddy, Jagan Velusamy, he had a fantastic game. 5 overs, 12 runs, 3 wickets. I'm sure you could have used that in the Bulls game. All right.
Yeah.
Sai Charan, 5 overs, 14 runs, 3 wickets, because I saw that your most economical bowler was Amit Patel. And he went at 6 runs and over. And here is Jagan giving what, 2.2 runs and over or something like that. So you sure could have used Jagan in this game. But nevertheless, a fantastic game by both teams. Both are similar strength. Somebody had to come out on top, and I don't think Deepak Bhaskaran played this game, so it became even more balanced. So congrats to the winners, and I think it's all in all, it's a good this thing. But I think also the experience played a part. And Alagu usually is better on the bowling front. His bowling was slightly off. That probably also hurt them. So when you're going against an even strength team, all your uh, buttons have to be pressed just right.
Yep. So yeah, both these teams are going to be, very eager. To stay in Division One, and two, if they can push towards their playoffs. I think that's going to be really interesting because I think both these teams. I think Thunderbolts has a better chance because I feel Group B is a little weak, and I feel Thunderbolts have a better chance. I know for sure FCC, my own strikers. I think they're going to probably have a tough time getting to win more games. So Thunderbolts has probably a better chance than Stingers, but I don't know about some of the relative strengths of MCC Miles as well. I know that team is weakened as well. So as the season rolls, we'll check on these two teams because I feel they're probably the ones that are going to be really fighting for survival with others as well. So all right, let's go to the big game, the KRCC Glads game. Former champions, last year's champions, clash in the second week of the season. And this game, I think I was closely watching it as well, even though we were playing. I was checking on the scores. Uh, Finally, I think Ali Abbas, he's been a big name in the circuit, both the leather ball as well as the DCL circuit. I know when he came to DCL, he started with a big bang. But I think over the last season or two, he's been quiet. He hasn't been doing much. But this game, he really came good. 53 or 52. I think that was an anchor. He just basically everyone revolved around him. Tamim came in. He scored Raza towards the end, and gave them a very good fighting total. But it was more of the bowling, and I'm sure Viju, you have a lot to talk about, especially this new guy Nahid. I was checking him up. He looks like a fresh new blood in DCL, and he really tormented your batting. 4 wickets in 4 overs and 13 runs. Looked like he. I wonder if it was the pace or did he have something else? Others, I pretty much have seen them. I've seen Mufasir, I've seen Amin, but this guy looks, a fresh new talent. So I'd love to know from you, what your assessment is. But all in all, I think as you mentioned previously, just before when we were talking about the GLCC game, looks like KRCC have got some really big units, and I think Glads have a couple of units, but I haven't seen anybody new. Majid looks, I haven't heard about him, so he looks fairly new. But apart from that, a couple of new additions. Ankur, I know from the leatherball circuit, so he's not new. But any new recruits, Viju, that we should be looking for from the Glads unit as well? Love to know that as well. So
No,
over
I
to you,
think it's
Viju.
more than anything else is a subtraction part. Let's face it. I mean, losing Amin Jahan is a huge
Yes.
loss. All right, because remember, our bowling is never the greatest bowling or anything like that. We try to be somewhere in the top five, and Amin put us firmly in the top five. All right. Last year, I was pretty confident that we could get the job done, but that was mainly I was resting on Amin, thinking that Amin can get the job done. But this year, when that is gone, and that too, it goes to KRCC, who's already having. They remind me of the old West Indian pace bowling attack. You had Michael Holding, Malcolm Marshall, Joel Garner, Andy Roberts, Colin Croft, Wes Hall. I mean, you name it. I mean, it was Wayne Daniels, all kinds of fast bowlers. You pick and choose what it was, and it was tough scoring against them, and it was a nightmare going against them. And that's the same thing here. But I think better than me is Satya. If Satya is there, he should answer this question, because a live shot is better than somebody watching 10,000 miles away. Now, of course, sitting 10,000 miles away, I had an opinion on what all things we did wrong. But, I mean, even so, is he on or is he off? I mean,
Yeah, Viju. I just
yeah. Satya, answer the question on the bowler, which Parthiv is asking the question, because you saw him live up front rather than me. I saw 10,000 miles away, and yeah.
So, Parthiv, you asking about the
Nahid, asking
Nahid
about
guy, right?
Nahid. Yeah.
Yeah, he's he's so like pace the line. He keeps all the way like the front, right? And none of the ball raised more than your knee. It was all below that. So with the pace, with that line, it's really hard to pick from there, right? Like you cannot hit two or you cannot hit anything. Like, and also he's having that angle from off towards the middle and leg. So he was good, very good bowler. So he was pitching on the line and the pace was really good. So we didn't had a proper plan, I would say. So it's on our batsmen's and bowling also we were very sloppy. Like we were not bowling in the right place and they did not give much chances. Like it's not that we dropped catches or anything. Moni was clearly hitting everything two. They know it's cold. It's not traveling all the way. If you see, there is no boundaries, not much boundaries by both the teams. So it's all twos and singles. That's how it's rounded all the way. So both the teams had the same issues, and but they bowled better, I would say. Like all the five bowlers were good, and they were picking wickets regularly. We could not able to do after the start. We just got three, but we could not able to continue that. Then yeah, we were under pressure and we just gave up. So yep, we'll see. We'll come back strong. So we learn every time. So yep.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like, as Viju you were saying, a formidable bowling attack with just the scorecard tells you a story, right? You have
Parthiv, I have
LBW.
one page worth of notes on this. All right, so let me
Go ahead.
continue,
Yes.
because I'm not going to give the Glads a free pass. You know that I don't give a free pass to anybody. I don't care whether it's Glads. I don't care whether it is any other team. I call it as I see it. As far as I'm concerned, Parthiv, I mean, I'm sure everybody is waiting to see what will I say after Glads lost such a one-sided game. Well, according to me, it was the Ali Abbas show. All right, this is what I saw from 10,000 miles away. As far as I am concerned, Oni and Raza gave good support. So let's give them credit for that. If you ask me, Parthiv, this was a punch in the gut, all right? Which was an absolute kicking, all right? It was a totally one-sided game. Let's call it for what it is. You saw the movie Rocky. I don't know if you saw Rocky 3. Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 came out, right? Rocky 3 was the one with Mr. T in it, all right? And Rocky's manager was a person by the name of Mickey. And, Mickey arranges, Rocky becomes the champion. Well, Gladys became the champion. And then, Mickey arranges all these bouts, These are good boxers, but, they are not like, Mr. T. They are like, people whom Rocky can beat up, So then, there is this challenge which Mr. T goes and gives it to Rocky, saying that, you're ducking that fight and things like that. And, Rocky says, bring him on. And Mickey doesn't want to bring him on. And he says, what are you doing, Mickey? And then Mickey says, because you can't win, Rocky. This guy will beat you to death in 3 rounds. This guy is a wrecking machine. The guys you were playing and you were beating up, they were good fighters, but they were not killers. The worst thing that happened to you, Rocky, is that you were a good fighter, and it happens to all good fighters. You got civilized and you've been taking it easy. And, Apollo Creed comes and says, there is no tomorrow, Rocky. When you and I fought, you had the eye of the tiger. You had the edge. Yep. But now you need to get it back. And that's the situation of the Gladys team. All right. When we went against KRCC, I'll tell you one thing. Those guys gave us a licking. And let's call a licking. All right. Now we need to go and get the edge back. We need to go and get the eye of the tiger back. All right. But who's going to be the eye of the tiger? For us, if you ask me, Shan, Arjun, Jeet, Hardeep, Taif, Mansab, Satya, they all have to pretty much play out of their mind. They have to really raise the level of the game if they want to compete with these guys. Because whatever I saw on the weekend, I can tell you, they are the killer, like Mr. T was the killer in Rocky 3, all right? And you can't rest on saying that we are the champions. Well, you were the champions last year and maybe the year before that. But these guys are a different breed. That's why I told you, you know what? Yes, you might have a lot of great names in GLCC, and you might have a lot of great names in Glads and a few other teams. But you know what? None of these teams have played or faced what we faced this weekend. And I tell you, it was an eye-opener. But we got schooled, we got taken to the cleaners. But here is the positive part. The positive, it was just the second game. And according to me, Satya is a cold assassin. And Mansab, if you ask me, is a hot assassin, all right? Arjun is a calculating assassin. And if you ask me, Shan is a murdering assassin. We have a lot of assassins. But here is the truth, Parthiv. All these assassins got assassinated on game day just this weekend, all right? Our assassins got assassinated. Now, the question is, do these guys have championship material DNA to say that, okay, we got assassinated, we are going to come back strong? I personally believe in them. I feel that, they don't have any quit. Taif is, I like Taif, you know why? Because that guy will fight like crazy, all right? You saw that in the DCL final. He tore his hamstring, whatever it is, he still wanted to bat, okay? So now that's what I still remember the 2018 final. I made him go. I told him, give me 2 overs. I rubbed all kinds of balm into his back, and I finally got 3 overs out of him, all right? That's the same type of mentality with Mansab. Mansab is he is a hot assassin. He'll come back strong. Arjun already knows this, all right, that he has to raise the level of his game. I do believe that Shan, if you look at it, the way he got Muned and one other wicket after the break, they all will come back strong. But Parthiv, do I have confidence that if we run into them, that we can beat them again. Well, I wouldn't take a bet. Let me put it that way. Because whatever I saw was out of the world. I mean, it was top-notch bowling. I've not seen that kind of top-notch bowling in a long, long time. Maybe Megabytes in their heydays had that kind of bowling. But this is at a higher level, at a higher pace. In fact, Oni is not even in their top 5 bowlers, if you ask me right now. I wouldn't put Oni in the top 5. Go and look at the game and you'll know why I'm telling that. All right.
Right.
But for me, Oli was always one of their top bowlers. All right. But what I learned in this game is that, you know what, Majid can bat, and he will. We will use him if we ever get that opportunity. That's one thing which I learned. We cannot replace Amin just like that. That means what? There is no Shane Warne walking in, no Wasim Akram walking into the team. So that means Satya has to raise the level of his game. All the other bowlers have to raise the level of the game. But their bowling is top notch. Maybe we need somebody like a Kaushik Chapadi who can hit anything and everything out of the park to dismantle them. But I doubt it, because I don't think they faced this kind of bowling last year. That's my opinion. I think Arjun needs to become that fearless Arjun of several years ago, who could just, hit centuries and take over a game. He has to raise the level of his game. And I think he knows that better than I don't need to tell him. And I'm sure somebody will probably send this video too, saying that he has to raise the level of his game. He knows that better than me telling him. We need somebody like Pradeep Bhatta also, who will lift up the hand and say that I'll be the ice cold assassin who will, this thing. But Mansab, Shan, Hardeep, Taif all have to play out of their minds. And we need everything to go right for us. And we need a few things to go wrong for them for this to be a competitive game. That's just what I feel. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what material glads are made of. We'll find that out.
I think it's still and as you rightly said, it's still the start of the season, so it's great to get that initial shock and that initial change of strategy, getting a wake-up call at the start of the season rather than towards the end of the season. But I do feel it's, the batting is where KRCC is still vulnerable. Yes, Ali Abbas got that wonderful 50, but I feel their bowling is definitely stronger than their batting. So we'll see how they cope up with the batting as well down the road. So GLCC, Gladiators, KRCC, all in that, fighting for that top slot. But we'll go to the...
Another thing on the KRCC, if you see their first game and the second game, there was a difference. Oni did not play the first game, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
And this game Oni played. So what I see, Oni is becoming that glue who will stick all the team together and get the best out of each and every one. So if Oni is not around and Yogi Bhai is also not around, that time we have to see how this team, who will lead and how, because not just 10 people who come and play, right? With one team goal, one captain, those things are important too. So I think at this point, Oni as a batsman and bowler, more than that, he would be what I see, he may be leading either not on the paper or on the paper. That I do not know at this point. But Oni is the glue for the KRCC at this point.
But I'm wondering where our Jasneet is gone, because I thought he was the guy who was the glue. He was the guy who led on the field in absence of our Yogesh Bhai.
Yogi Bhai was there, Parthiv. He was there. He was appealing more. Any ball which touches anywhere on the leg or the body, he claims it's out. You go and watch the game. It becomes a comedy of errors. It's like not even close. Yeah, it's out. For Yogi Bhai, everything is out. Now, when it is his team, it is never out. So now this is where, that's not fair. Yogi Bhai needs to understand that, don't go beyond this thing. You know what? Everything is not out, and everything for you is not out, and for the other side is out. But you know what? Let me give it the umpires credit. The umpires did a fabulous job. We did not lose because there was an umpiring mistake or anything. Both the umpires did a fabulous job. We were completely outplayed in this game. So let's call it for what it is. They outplayed us. Ali Abbas was absolutely phenomenal. And Raza gave him good support, and Oni batted well too. And we let them off the hook. Parthiv, 5 runs, 3 wickets down. We let them
Yep.
off the hook from there, and we did make some blunders. And you go and look at it, you'll see that we used 9 bowlers.
Yeah.
Clearly,
It
we
was
we were not thinking through or any of those things. I know that usually I have a discussion with Satya before a game. This game, I didn't even have any discussion. But in hindsight, probably should have had the discussion. But I don't know. I do know that we may run into them again. I hope we don't. But if we run, I'm not sure. We will try to change a few things, but if you ask me, Partha, will the result be different? I don't know. It all depends upon. We have to now answer the bell, right, and see if we can take up the challenge. Now that depends upon the Glad's team which is playing, whether they'll be willing to rise up to the challenge. But knowing some of them like Arjun and Taif and Mansab and all those guys, they won't take it lying down. They will try to come back stronger.
Well, you heard it from the horse's mouth. So I hope the Glad guys are listening, and this is definitely going to go to motivate them and to pick up and their gear, pull up their socks so that they can avoid such heavy losses during the rest of the season. But we'll go to the next game. That's the FCC versus Local Boys, and this game was fabulous. We have a hat trick by Sujan. And that's something that was very unusual. When I was checking the scorecard, very unusual hat trick. And hats off to the umpire who had given these decisions, because there were 2 LBWs, especially the last wicket. There were 2 LBWs and a bowled.
How did you get this idea of hat trick, Partha? Is it the last over?
Yes, I think KK had mentioned, right? KK mentioned when we were talking about the game changer of the week. Nomination.
I thought he said wicket, dot, and a wicket.
I thought he said hat trick, but
okay. Well,
anyways,
I didn't look at it that closely.
All right, maybe I was mistaken for a hat trick, but there were 3 wickets in the last over, which changed the game.
Yes, there are 3 wickets in the last over, but it was wicket, dot, and a wicket.
Okay. Maybe I just assumed that it was a hat trick because he mentioned 3 wickets. But nevertheless, there were 3 wickets in those 5 balls which you mentioned, and 2 of them were LBWs. Now that requires a really strong and will-hearted umpire to give 2 LBWs, especially the last wicket in such a close match. This match went to the wire again. FCC won by 4 runs, but it was that Sujan's over which was the game changer here. It was Local Boys were going fairly smoothly with Srinivas alumni, and we mentioned that he's the kingpin for Local Boys. Until he was there, I think the chase looked pretty reasonable, but that last over just wrecked it for Local Boys. So FCC haven't had a win in a very long time. Last year, I think I'll have to go back but if my memory serves, they probably just had 1 victory, or maybe not even 1 victory throughout the season. So this, starting off with a win, credit to Nishant and Ashwant at the top. Their contribution made all the difference. But it's a great start for FCC to stay in Division 1 and register a victory.
Yeah, Partha, I thought the FCC batting was always the suspect for me. Again, only Ashwant and Nishant showed up. But let's give Suryanshu Patra 4 overs, 11 runs, 3 wickets, and Sheikh Mohammed 4 overs, 9 runs, and 2 wickets. And then Kalyan 4 overs, 12 runs, 2 wickets. They got the job done. But the biggest knock which I have against Local Boys is if you want to beat Local Boys, take Srinivas Elumalai out of the game. Neutralize them. Somehow or the other, eliminate him and let somebody else beat you. And that more often than not, it doesn't happen. Karthik R got 2 big wickets of Srini and Uppalapatti, I think. And Sujan was the FCC. He won FCC the game, all right? He did a boom, Bumrah. I think Sujan is the Bumrah of FCC, because if you ask me, that last over was phenomenal. Wicket, dot, and then a wicket. Single-handedly won the game for them, right? Game over, commentary over. discussion over. It was as simple as that. I have to give him a credit. He has been playing DCL for a long time, but this was probably one of his finer games. I mean, right? Single last over came and won the game for them when local boys were in the driver's seat. Now, I do not know if local boys agree with the LBW decision. You know, LBW decisions are always a little this thing, but the umpire felt it was out, and usually Sujan bowls wicket to wicket. So if I had to bet, I would probably bet that Sujan probably got them out. But I didn't see the game, so I do not know. But I'm just, based upon past experience, I would say that Sujan usually bowls wicket to wicket. So if you missed it, it's probably going straight to the stumps.
Yeah, he's pretty accurate with that. But I was just, just looking, rewinding it to a normal scenario where I would have been in the umpire seat and I would have to judge something. I will have to be 100% sure that this is out to give it, that to raise my finger, because this is quite a, a decision that changes the game completely. So,
again, I think it varies from umpire to umpire. It's very difficult to get me to give you an LBW decision because I'm always a batsman's umpire. I always feel that unless I am absolutely convinced that this is plumb LBW, I try to see if there is any way in which the bats, because I know that there is nobody else adjudicating for the batsman. All right, there are 11 fielders who are all trying to scream their head off, and I just straight away eliminate all their appeals because I'm interested in only, hey, is that going directly to the stumps, and can I find a reason why I should not give the batsman out? So I've always been in. I do not know, Parthiv, the first 50 you hit in DCL, I think somewhere around 46. Huge appeal. I was the umpire. I do not know if you recall this.
I have no idea.
Yeah, this happened. All right, this happened. There was and I'll tell you which ground also. The ground was, Rochester Hills ground, RHE North. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where you hit the 50. All right. I was the main umpire. So look at how good my memory is on these things. You were around 46. All right. Huge appeal. It was a very close decision, but I did not give it out. All right. And you went on to hit a 50. And I think you ended up with 58 in that game, if I'm not mistaken. 58 not out also. But anyways, for me to give an out, I have to be absolutely convinced because there are a lot of things, the length, where is it going, the trajectory, the bounce, a whole lot of things which comes into the equation because I know that the batsman doesn't get another opportunity. So I really need to think it through before I give it out. But Yep.
So very, very great close game. Tough loss for local boys. I think those 3 wickets in the last over made all the difference. We're going to skip over to the next game. I'm just going to read out the result. Pokhris versus Hawks. This was a very, very one-sided game. Pokhris 86 and restricting Hawks to just mere 33. So unless somebody has something they want to say, I'm going to move to the next game. But because this was
Parthiv, is my friend Vikram Reddy Golamari back? Let me ask you that question. I think he had a very good game in this game. If I'm not mistaken.
He is.
All right. See, look at that. 5 overs, 12 runs, 4 wickets. I saw that and I said, the old Vikram Reddy Golamari is probably back. All right. And when these guys were going and Golamari was getting those wickets, it was 2 for 17 and things like that. I thought that, Pokhris might have trouble, but usually the Hawks batting is good. But I don't know what happened here. Well, the Pokhris bowling is also good. So maybe the bowling once again took over. But but I thought I should give a shout out to Golamari. Golamari is, and Vicky seems to be back in good form too. So,
I think,
also, congrats to Vicky on getting the first win as skipper, I think, because last week was a loss, right? So this week was a win. So this is his first win as a Pokhris skipper. So congrats to him, if I'm not mistaken.
Last week was a very, very close game coming from behind against GLCC. They lost by mere, I think, 7 or 8 runs or 10 runs. But yeah, good win here. Very, very comprehensive. Hawks, pretty decent side. They got a better of us the previous week, but I think their batting didn't match up to the Pokhari's bowling. I think their runouts also didn't help. But yeah, all in all, a good start for Pokhari's getting on the board. The next game is, even though it's a very, very one sided game, the reason why I still want to call it out is because we have a Centurion, and that doesn't happen a lot of times in DCL. It's few and far in between. So, want to take this opportunity, take this platform to congratulate Tanmay. I think it was a fabulous innings, even though the dimensions of the ground were obscure, skewed, but cannot take it away from how he played and how he dominated the bowling. Uh, and we just didn't have the match to it. I mean, we've talked about it in WhatsApp. The team is ailing from a lot of old age and old age players. The fresh legs are not there, and those people who are no longer available for most of the times. Like people like Raj, people like Dinesh, not available due to various reasons, family reasons, travel reasons, whatever. So we've been having a very tough time from last year to kind of get a decent 11. Yeah, we do get 11 eventually, 11 or 12 eventually, but there's always a compromise. Like this game too, we were playing with like 11 bodies, but really 9. 2 were essentially fillers, people who you could basically get, just down the street and ask them to play. It was like that. Like we couldn't get any players. So we were playing with 9. We were already handicapped. But this ground didn't help. And I think one of the big mistakes that we made, I feel, hindsight, was we won the toss and gave them on a platter to bat first. I think that was, in my opinion, a big blunder where we should have batted first, put up a score, because that does, even though it's small ground, boundaries were small, the fence was lower. I think the scoreboard pressure does add a lot. And even if we weren't, even if we hadn't scored like 238, we should have scored 170 batting first. That our bowling would have looked a lot more potent with the runs on the back. So that didn't happen. I think, as you can see, the scorecard and the bowling figures, we were all hammered. Everybody pretty much going at more than 10 per over, except for Amit. Amit, I think, was benefited from the fact that he came in when the wickets were down, so he got the benefit of the new players coming in. But not to take away, like those 3 overs were very, very valuable. And coming to our batting again, we were always under a lot of pressure, but Parag played a decent knock. Kishore hasn't come good from a very long time. We expect him to come good. But all in all, a very, very sorry tale for strikers. And I think this year looks really, really like, to be honest, very, very happy if we stay in Division 1, to be honest. So, we'll have to really pull up our socks to even be in Division 1. So it's going to be that kind of a season, I feel, this year.
Arthur, when I look at it, Tanmay scored 113 not out and Bulls won by 113 runs. So there's a similarity right there. And
Right.
well, 113, he alone scored, and all 11 of you combined scored only 115, So this is a one-man show. He's definitely the player of the week. I think he's the game changer of the week. We all voted on it. I believe you gave him the vote. I gave him the vote. I don't know about Gaba's vote, but I know that the majority was.
I think he also.
Yeah, so it was a unanimous vote there. Of course, it's not too often that we have a Centurion. And when Amit Patel is your best bowler and that reads 3 overs, 18 runs, 1 wicket, you remember that movie where it says, Houston, we have a problem. This is Tom Cruise from outside space. I forgot the Apollo 13, I think, was the movie where he says, Houston, we have a problem. And that's exactly what it is. But you know what, Parthu? I was watching the score, right? I mean, I'm watching the Glads game and I'm also checking all these scorecards.
Yep.
And I'm watching the scorecard. The first time I realized something is not right is, well, I see that the Bulls are 40 odd runs in 4 overs. And I'm saying, man, they're going at 10 runs and over. I mean, this is IPL style kind of a thing. Then again, I say, okay, Nikhil Sunny. Nikhil Sunny is an attacking batsman. You can't hope to stop him. You can only hope to contain him. And so maybe that's probably what that score is. It can be chalked to that. Then came Asanka Dissanayake, and I'm thinking, well, is this a new guy? Because he scored 51 in 30 balls, and he had 1 4 and 6 sixes. And Parthiv, you know what? I said, man, I have seen this guy before, or I've heard his name before, and I am very sure he played last year with Bulls. So I said, you know what? Let me go and check what his stats were last year. Parthiv, here is the thing. Asanka Dissanayake, he played for them last year. This game, he had 1 4 and 6 sixes. And all of last season, Parthiv, he scored 41 runs in 83 balls. That's what the stat says. 41 runs in 83 balls in 9 matches, all right? And now, in that 9 matches, he hit only 2 4s and 0 6s. And that's when I said, oh, there is something wrong here, because either I have seen people improve, all right? I have seen Mahesh Babu improve leaps and bounds, his game kind of a thing. But this kind of improvement, there is something wrong here, something too good to be true. And I said, well, this is holy moly. I would like to have that kind of improvement. I would like to drink from that Kool-Aid from which Asanka Dissanayake is drinking. But, then I said, okay, Tanmay Zante, he's a very straight batsman. He doesn't like to take undue risk and things like that. He's not here, he is a very steady batsman. I like him as a batsman. He's a technically correct player. And he's motoring along, and the score is all decent. And then 20 overs, the score was fine, Parthiv. And in the last 5 overs, 70 runs came. 7-0 in the last 5 overs.
And last over itself was...
last over went for 21 runs, if I'm not mistaken. Tanmay went from 61, Parthiv, at the end of the 20th over to 113. Now, when he was at 61, I didn't think century was possible, because you have only 5 overs. And I didn't think he will get to 113. And the next thing I know, out of the 70 runs, Tanmay scored 52 not out, Parthiv. It was a total dominating. It was some kind of hitting. But let me ask you, what should the teams do about this kind of ground? You get my point? Because it really changes the outcome for many other teams. Many other teams like Gladys will say, oh, we want to play in that ground.
Exactly. I was just going to say, there are a lot of teams who would be loving it to play, because if you have even decent sized hitters and you guys, are loaded with them, like people like Hardeep, Mansab, they are going to just hit it outside just by just touching the ball. But I think this is the only week, from what I know, and Gabaji can maybe let us know, but I asked Vijay, I caught him like 2 or 3 times. He was there umpiring the game, and I caught him 2 or 3 times walking down the aisle, and I told him, you are the reason why strikers' history is going to get spoiled. So, nobody is going to know what the dimension of the ground were, or what was the conditions that we bowled. Everybody is just going to look at the score and say strikers were hammered on this day in this season, whatever. So you are responsible for part of our history now. But to be honest, he told me that this is the only week when these games are there at that ground. So starting next week, the grounds are going to be those regular, the Novi Power Park and the West Bloomfield and Keith Road. That's what I've been told. Now, only a committee member can basically validate that's the case. But Vijay told me the last week was the only week when those grounds are going to be used. So,
well, that brings us to the bigger question, because if you look at the net run rate, that's going to make a difference later on in the season. It's not going to make a difference right now. All right.
Right.
But when teams are tied up and things like that, who goes in and who goes out depends upon net run rate. You get my point? Right. And if you look at it, again, on your team, you have Parag Purohit, who's a very good technically correct batsman. But
Mhm.
I found that Parag had a strike rate of 146.5, and Gino James, another very technically correct batsman. Two guys I like, okay, because for a cricket purist, you like these guys who play technically correct, very nice plays according to the merit of the ball, and it's not easy to get them out. Well, Gino had 143.75 strike rate.
I had
I mean,
144 as well.
so that's when I said, okay, what in the world is going on here? So I didn't know anything about this thing. After the game, I was discussing with Satya about the Glad's game, and I said, man, the Bulls were on fire today. What in the world? So then he said, oh, Vicky complained in the captain's group or something like that, that the
Oh yeah, it was
dimensions were
so
all
horrible. Like
was
I measured the ground dimensions because I wanted to report it to the committee. So I basically, during the drinks break, I measured it. It was 140 on the sides. That is the longest. That's supposed to be the longest part of the boundary, which is on the leg side, square leg, and then towards the front, which is the long on and the long off, it was around 130 ish. And as Gabaji said, the fence was so low, you could basically just touch the ball and it goes up for 2 runs. So it was just helpless. Like, and I agree. I think KK, mentioned that. Like, I agree. I mean, we could have basically bowled outside the off stump, got it less. But I guess, we were so muscle memory tuned, to bowling on the stumps. It was difficult for us to kind of just change suddenly and bowl outside the off stump, wide of the off stump, to make them not hit on the leg side. But
you know
nevertheless,
who's the who's the happiest guy? Probably Tamim Oni, because his DCL record stands for the highest score. Because if Kaushik Chapadi was there on that ground, he
oh
probably
yes,
is scoring 200 runs.
I said the same thing to my strikers guys. Like, I told them, like, this is Detroit Bulls, but if there was some other team, we would have had 300 for sure this today.
Yeah, somebody sent me a text saying, "Hey, is this the highest score in DCL?" And I said, "Whoa, the highest score in DCL is still surviving."
Anyways, before we move on to the next game, I wanted to call out the game changer of the week. That's sponsored by Happy Feet Dance Academy.
Oh, our
Uh,
happy feet! There was they probably need to erect an arena right outside that ground, Parthiv, so that
yes.
that you could. There was belly dance, there was break dance, there was ballet dance, all kinds of dance. The Bulls were doing a lot of dancing in the center of the pitch, and there were a lot of people dancing outside the ground too. All right,
Yep.
so our dance academy probably enjoys this, and they probably should erect something there, because they could have a money minting academy there, money minting millionaires academy.
Yes. So a $25 gift card to Tanmay Zante from Detroit Bulls. So if you're listening, or if anybody from Detroit Bulls is listening, please get in touch with Satya, so that you can claim your gift card this week.
More than the
With that,
$25 gift card, Parthiv, I'll be happy that I'm the game changer of the week, right? So that's I honor to have. And
absolutely.
congrats, Tanmay. Absolutely fabulous job.
Let's go on to the last game of Division 1, which is the Fighters versus SLCC Legends. And this was another nail biter. Low scoring thriller, just like how we are expected, or we are used to seeing in DCL. Fighters, getting past the SLCC Legends by 3 runs. And both these teams have good bowling resources. I think SLCC Legends probably the better of the two in terms of bowling. But, I think Fighters really, I mean, Mahendra Burreddy and then Mahesh Babu, I think those two guys, I think really got the Fighters a great start. And then towards the end, I think it was pretty much everybody contributed. I think I was surprised at this new addition coming into Fighters, Raghu Kumar Palaniswamy. Because I've always felt like pokeries are almost like I have never seen anybody get out of pokeries. I've seen a lot of people enter pokeries, but I've never really seen anybody get out of pokeries. Yes, we've had the odd Avinash Raghu who's gone, who's left, but but that too was a rare event. It's been very rare that I've seen somebody leave pokery and go to some other team. So this was a surprise as well for me to see Raghu Kumar.
You have Vinod, you have Shan, like you have people. So
Oh yeah, Shan, I remember. But a lot of like faithfuls. My point was, the Pokeries are generally a bunch of very faithful guys, and they're very close knit team. And it shows because they're generally their squad is probably the leanest squad in DCL. They have 18, 19 players, and pretty much everybody's committed to the effort. But getting back to this game, Viju, I would love to know from you: was it, the bowling that made the difference between the two, or was it, pretty much anybody's game? I felt like it was, the bowling of two bowling efforts that made this contest.
Parthiv, Legends bowled about as good as anybody can bowl. They used only 5 bowlers, and those 5 bowlers gave only 2 wides, and they still lost the game. So if you ask me, Chaitanya Bobley did a fantastic job. 5 overs, 15 runs, 3 wickets. He was the pick of the bowlers. The Legends, they have good batting additions in the form of Swarna. Sham Kachati has been a fantastic addition, if you ask me. And Hemant Naidu they added. So they have definitely beefed up the batting. Their bowling was always very good. But I think in the end, Parthiv, you already identified the two main guys. The M&M boys is what I call them. Mahendra Reddy and Mahesh Babu. They were the 1-2 punch. And then the fighter skipper, Arjun Dev Alipur, is doing a phenomenal job. 2 wins in 2 games. They see, here's the thing, Parthiv. They batted the entire 25 overs, all right? And then they bundle the opposition out. Legends, I do not think they were at full strength because they played a person by the name of Raghuram Ganti. All right. He comes number 11 and he's not bowling. So I felt they might not have had enough players. Where's our good friend Satish Belamakunda? Harish did not play this game, but it was a close game. I feel that at the end of the day, Alipur deserves all the credit because a skipper deserves all the credit when you win a close game. And in any close game, whether it was Raptors winning that close game over Titans, I think there again the skipper did a fantastic job for the Raptors, leading from the front with making the right decision. Here, Alipur should deserve the credit because this was a close game. It could have gone either way. I myself picked Legends to win. But at the end of the day, I think most of us picked Legends to win, or all of us picked Legends to win. But I think Fighters, even though they got only 2 wides, they still manufactured the win. So I feel give the credit to the skipper and those 2 bowlers, Mahesh Babu and Mahendra Reddy. They've been doing the job for a few seasons now. 1-2 punch, a very good 1-2 punch.
I think how about this new edition? I forgot to mention. Just like Fighters have Raghu, SLCC have Swarna, our golden boy, now part of SLCC Legends. I know Legends have been lacking from the great start that they had in DCL. They started really well. They were amongst the top teams, but sooner rather than later, I think they haven't really justified in playoffs. Do you think the addition of Swarna makes that fills up that missing piece of the puzzle?
I do think so. I think they have added a few pieces, but I think Parthiv, here's the thing. When I look at their roster, I wonder if everybody is available, who sits out? That's where I have the question. Okay, because if you really look at it, okay, you have added Swarna, you have added Sham Kachati, you have added Hemant Naidu, you have added a few other pieces. Now Srikant Narne did not play this game. Right. Now all those people, if they have to come in, then somebody has to go out, right? At the end of the day, you can have only so many slots, right? So that's where I think the challenge is going to be. But But I think their batting, I think they have addressed it by adding these pieces. Now, I agree that Swarna did not click in this game, but that form is temporary and class is permanent,
Yep.
and it's only a matter of time
I do
before
feel,
he
yeah, I
comes.
do feel the same thing. When I saw them beat KRCC last week, I was looking at it and I found Swarna as part of Legends, and I do feel with him coming in with the kind of attack they already had, and Harish and all those guys coming in, they are definitely a threat. Definitely a semi-finalist for sure in my books. Just looking at the squad, but DCL is a funny season. Things change very quickly, so we'll keep an eye. We'll see how Swarna fits into the new setup and what role he plays. Because I think he's used to in Red Devils kind of dominate like the bat ball, and almost I think he was the captain on the field as well, pretty much. So we'll see how he fits into this setup. All right. With that, we have the Division 1 game squared off. And we're going to touch upon Division 2, some of the exciting games. And one of the exciting games was the Deccan Chargers versus Royal Challengers, Detroit. That was a close game. Went really close. Challengers winning it by 2 wickets. Now, Deccan Chargers is a kind of a mixed team. I see a lot of faces that have come across. Not a whole lot. I wouldn't say a whole lot, but I see, I recognize a couple of them at least. So even though a fairly new team, there are a few people from other teams that have, combined together to form a team. Royal Challengers Detroit, if I'm not mistaken, are the previous Kings 11, was it? Which got renamed or got transformed to Royal Challengers Detroit.
No.
So,
This is Arjun Chittimani's team, I think.
wasn't it Kings 11? What was their name before?
No. That is Vikings. Kings 11 is Vikings.
Oh, Vikings. Then this was some team. I don't remember, but it was some previous team that used to play. I remember
No. This is
Arjun.
a new team only. This is the Arjun's team,
Okay.
right?
So yeah, they were there last year too. But I thought they were previously called a different team. Anyways,
No.
this
Hmm.
they're not a new team. They were there, yeah, last year too. Royal Challengers Detroit. Deccan Chargers,
Yeah.
I think, is a team.
Deccan Chargers is a couple of SSK players. Royal Challengers
Oh,
Detroit last year it was there.
okay.
This is these
Yep.
guys played last year too. They were in the
Mhm.
playoffs.
Right. Yeah. So SSK, yes, with SSK not returning, I think, yeah, some of the players have moved to Deccan Chargers. So yeah, I think to call this game, I mean, as we are still learning some of these new teams, it's going to be a little harder to get into a lot of details. But Viju, how did you see this game?
For me, Parthiv, this looks like a close game, but if you look at the point system, I think RCD got the bonus too. So if you consider getting bonus, then I feel a close game is something where you don't even get the bonus. So if RCD got the bonus, it was a firecracker of a game, but I felt it was a battle of extras, Parthiv, because Deccan
Yeah.
Chargers gave 15 extras and RCD gave only 8 extras. And if you ask me, that was the difference in the game, because otherwise this probably could have been a different outcome altogether, you see. Again, let's give credit. Parthiv, if you don't know them, there's even lesser chance for me to know
Yeah.
them because I'm sitting 10,000 miles away. I'm looking at the rosters, and this is what I've been finding. In Division 2, I have no clue what is going on. It's inni, mini, mina, mo. I'm trying to figure it out, you see. I have no clue what I'm picking. So I'll just say that Kishore Ravaru played 2000 style DCL, early 2000s, 2010, around that time, you had a type of DCL cricket which was there. He was the Lone Ranger, Parthiv,
Yep.
because if you ask me, Rutvik and Kartikeya Chella, they dominated with the ball. This was the ball dominating the bat throughout in both sides. Rutvik, 11 runs in 23. He did what Kishore did for the other team. But in the end, 3 RCD bowlers. Kartikeya, he picked 3 wickets for 11 runs. Rutvik, he picked 3 wickets for 13 runs. And their skipper, Iswar Kesineni, picked up 3 wickets for 8 runs. And that, if you ask me, determined the outcome. It was good old fashioned DCL cricket where RCD got the bonus. But at the end of the day, I felt it was the extras which really decided who won this game. And because they got it well before the 21.3 or whatever it is, they got the bonus too.
Yeah, and you kudos to Royal Challengers. They had 8 bowlers used, and when you have 8 bowlers used and you still concede only eight extras, that is great bowling, I would say. Anyways, yep. So another close contest in Division 2. And Division 2, I mean, you're right. I mean, I personally don't know a lot of people because I'm not in the circuit that much. The only person that can actually do justice is KK. Yeah, he knows pretty much anyone. Division 1, Division Z, he knows pretty much everyone who plays plays cricket anywhere. So we need KK to be
Well,
around to
also
get some
Gaba knows a lot of things. All right, he just doesn't disclose it. All right, that's that. Trump has the art of the deal. According to me, Gaba has the art of the steal. All right, because he keeps stealing all these champions. He has information which we don't, and he's not sharing all the information.
Well, that is shrewd captains do, I guess. All right, next one is a close game, another close game between Racha Riders and Farmington Rise. Racha Riders and Farmington Risers. Okay. Another one which is a not 3 runs game. Racha Riders have been there last year, and we talked about them. Racha Riders, and I think there is another team that was up and coming. I remember us talking about them specifically, where we were really impressed by this team at the start of the season. They kind of dwindled a little bit towards the mid-season and towards the end. Didn't show that much promise which they started with, but still very promising. Looked very promising at the start. In this game, they got home by the scruff of the neck by those last 10 runs by Ramakrishna. But Farmington Risers, new team, so we're not going to be overcritical of them. But 28 extras in 69, they gave away 28 extras, 25 wides, and pretty much uh, the highest scorer on the scorecard. So they should be, ruining that fact. Those giving those extra 28 runs. Where Racha Riders, they gave away only 10 runs. So they made Farmington Risers score a lot of runs through the bat. They fell short by 3 runs, but you know, new teams always are going to struggle when they come to play. To be competitive, I think that's one thing that they need to quickly iron out. Farmington Risers is these extras. Otherwise, big teams are going to massacre them down the road. But yeah, Farmington Risers, I'm not sure if anybody can put some light on them. Any player that we see, brand new team, so no idea as to who is a performer. But it looks like the top two batsmen, gave a decent sized contribution between Balakrishna and Siam. Those partnerships, those double digits, I think helped, but eventually, I think it was Subhash Mamedi who kind of made the difference. Yes, Viju. Anything?
Parthiv, I only was curious. What is Vijay Kakamani doing? Because he is the captain of the losing team, but magically he is the man of the match. All right. Now, I do understand that he bowled 5 overs, 15 runs, and 4 wickets. But there is a guy called Subhash Mamidi who's on Racha Riders. He bowled 5 overs and gave only 13 runs, which is 2 lesser runs, and picked 4 wickets, and he's on the winning team. So I don't know what Rachia Riders are thinking, but the Rachia Rider skipper and their vice captain needs to be taken to the bar and given I don't know, some drinks or something like that, and said, "Hey guys, what are you guys doing? Your own guy has taken 4 wickets, and you guys are the winning team. Your guy should be the man of the match." But somehow the man of the match is the losing side skipper. So I don't get that, Partha. I thought maybe you can throw some light on it, because since you just got out of the committee, maybe you know something which I don't know.
Generally, what happens is whoever bats second.
Yeah, that looks like
What's that? Oh, sorry, somebody. All right. Whoever bats second, when they end the score, like when the game finishes, the software, the software recommends the like 3 names who it thinks should be the man of the match, and then you pick one, and that becomes your selection. So I'm pretty sure that happened, and Farmington Risers, because they were batting second, they would have got those 3 options, and they would have chosen their captain as the man of the match.
No, I'll tell you one thing. We get a lot of such requests to update the man of the match after the week ends. I'm not sure why.
Yeah,
Why team batting second or picks their player? I don't understand, but we get a lot of those requests after every match that we have to change the man of the match, and likewise. So committee might be working on
I don't
changing it.
understand why even they bother, because I don't think DCL tracks or DCL awards any man of the matches. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's the pride that is on stake, I guess.
Well, if you ask Subhash Mamidi, he would like to be the man of the match. He deserves it. So you'll say that, hey, come on, guys. I mean, I put in all that effort. I came out there, drove to the ground, and put in 4 or 5 hours of work, and I picked up 4 wickets.
Man of the match gets extra 50 points, which will help them to lead the top if they're at the end of the season.
Oh, in the fantasy?
See? Not in fantasy.
Even in the overall
DCL side too. With regards to MVP and all that stuff. Now I understand that if you're not in MVP contention, you don't care. But at the same time, everything counts. So
10
it's
man of the match, 500 easy points.
Part of it is the responsibility of the skipper to make sure that the right man of the match is awarded.
God, yeah, I didn't know that. Oh my God.
Yeah, so even though Rachia Riders won the game, we took them to task for giving the wrong man of the match award here.
Well, that is good news, because that is piece of news.
In ideal scenario, ideally umpire has the right to pick the man of the match, but just because they are recreational,
we are getting live updates. We are getting live updates in the community saying that they've sent an email to the committee to update the player of the match. So
yeah, that's what I see. I told you, right? I see today and yesterday.
You guys are faster than me. Who is the person who sent it? Give him credit for that.
Amar.
Huh?
So Amar from Rebels, I guess. Or
Amar is from the Racha Riders.
Okay, good. Good. At least they are paying attention. So good. Yes. Good, they are getting the job done. I do feel that this was daylight robbery to rob Subhash Mamidi of the man of the match. I was not too happy about it. So I felt that he should get the appropriate credit, right? I mean, they won the match, so he should be the man of the match.
Yep. All right. And to wrap up this
congrats to Rachia Riders, right?
Yes. Congrats to Rachia Riders for opening their account. But before we end this, to the analysis, one more game is the Phantoms versus Avengers. Now, this was a game, high-scoring game, relatively high-scoring game, compared to some of the other ones that happened in Grand Blanc. They were not. But this was where Phantoms, we've talked about them last year. They have been constantly improving. They have been on the verge last year as well. They could have, a couple of results going here and there. They could have been in Division 1 as well. But a great start for them. Rohit Venkatesh, I think we talked about him also last year. He was the standout performer for them, and it was his innings year, as you can see, those 44 or 46 that made the score just beyond reach for the Avengers. Avengers on the other side, another new team that has come, and
I
with some
don't
more.
think this is a new team, Parthiv. Even though I'm
Or
sitting
sorry,
10,000 miles away, I don't think it's a new team. I
this
think
is a
these are all
yeah.
these
This
are
is
all those, because that Venu,
renamed.
Adluru, etc. Natraj Somaraju has been playing for ages in DCL.
Yeah, I mean, in the sense,
But
yes,
Parthiv,
you
I
will
don't
find
know.
some.
How is it that I know more than you
Viju,
now?
it's a
Ah,
new team with old players.
New team. It could be some of the known faces. Yes, that is generally what happens in DCL. You have a few known faces, but it's still a brand new team together.
okay.
So yes, you are right. There are
And
these names. You would see them. Nataraj Somaraju. I've played with him many times. You would
and
find
their
a lot of.
captain is from the ex-Glads, two-time champion.
Yes, that we did.
You tell Satya he's got a lot of heartburn over that.
So yeah, I mean, I felt like this was a good game, especially for the Avengers coming into DCL and having a taste of DCL. But Phantoms, as I mentioned, it has been a very good team ever since the first year or first couple of years where they struggled. After that, they have been constantly rebuilding. Rajesh has done a phenomenal job. I don't see him here, but I know. Oh yeah, I see him, but he didn't bat. But he's doing a great job in slowly but surely kind of building this team up. So yeah,
Partho,
kudos to.
remember last year too, I told that great leadership, and he provides excellent leadership, and so I'm not surprised at all with the success
Mhm.
which Phantoms have. Go
Yep.
ahead. I didn't want to stop the thing. I just wanted
No,
to
I'm done.
agree
Let
with
me
you.
know if you wanted to add anything here.
Oh, I just wanted to say I love the Phantoms unit. I picked Avengers because of the Glatz connection, because the Avengers skipper was our Glatz player. So in that sense, this thing. But I think Zatan, Arun, Teja, and Rohit, they took the game away from a good Avengers unit. I think Avengers is a good team. But again, look at Rohit, 44 and 46 balls, Parthiv, but not a single boundary. This is a DCL type innings. If you really look at it, you remember Phantom, they call him the ghost who walks, right? According to me, Rohit Venkatesh was the ghost who avenges all bad bowlers. That's exactly what he did here. But again, Atish, Venu, Tyagarajan, Venkata all put on a fabulous show for Avengers. But at the end of the day, Rohit was the Phantom ghost, and he had help, and Phantom has help in the form of Devil, which is the Phantom's dog. I don't know if you still remember it. Long time back, if you remember your Phantom comics, you remember the dog
Yep.
was called Devil. Well, the question is, who was the Phantom's Devil? Well, if you ask me, the Phantom's Devil was a person by the name of Chidanand. 5 overs, 1 maiden, 13 runs, 4 wickets, Partha. And this Devil had a solid bite, and he took care of key Avengers batsmen like Natraj, Venu, Venkata, and Surya. That's 4 top good quality batsmen. And so, if you ask me, could Phantoms win Division 2? The answer is I think so. So
Yep.
let's see. But I'm sure people like Gujarat Warriors, etc., have a say. But Phantoms, if you ask me, is a contender and not a pretender. We have this contender pretender. They are a contender.
Yep. Definitely. All right. With that, we come to the end of our analysis for last week. We will love to now move on to our prediction section or prediction segment. So, Satya, if you want to share how we are doing and who's leading our prediction results.
think is he
Satya, are you
hearing
still
us or?
there? We can get it.
One
I
minute,
think.
1 minute, guys.
Oh, you're getting. Last I checked, I think Gabaji was leading by
Tell me something new, Partha.
by a solitary point. I mean, it's still very early, but he's still like 1 point ahead. But
Actually,
to be honest,
honestly, Partha, this prediction contest should only be
Can you see my
between you
screen
and me.
or not yet?
No,
not
we
yet.
can't see a screen.
Vijju bhai, you cannot discount
we-
Chetan bhai. Chetan bhai is ahead of you. So you
Yeah,
have
I
to
know.
include at least Chetan bhai in that competition.
Yeah, he's ahead of me. I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right,
Can you
let's
see?
do the next game's prediction, and then we'll see the leaderboard. So, looks like the Indus. Who are Indus playing? Sorry, we should
Indus is
probably.
playing MCC Miles.
Okay. All right. So all of us look to be on the Indus Thunder side. I mean, I think predictable because I think MCC Miles has lost a few players. Stars versus Dynamites. Yeah. One guy, Chetan by votes for Dynamites. Wow.
You know what? My friend Vijay Shanmugam will be so happy with Chetan Thakkar. All right. Yeah, by the way,
Yes.
Parthu, do you know how many championships Megabytes won?
I think 5.
5 championships? Okay.
Yeah.
Gababai, you know the answer?
I think 4, right? You guys
Yeah,
equal
4.
them, right?
The answer is 4. Did they win? How did they win it? All 4 in a row?
Yeah, 4 in a row. No,
Yeah.
they did 4 or 3-peat. I think 4. I don't know. I mean, my memory is so bad.
All right. Well, Partha, let me tell you, the answer is 4 in a row. All right. Okay. I don't think that record is ever going to be touched. But nevertheless, my good friend Vijay, his memory is also not very good. All right. He took a bet with me. Now, you should know by now that, don't take DCL bets with me because usually I am pretty good at that. I told him Megabytes won 4 in a row. And you know what? He said, no way. Nobody has even done a 3-peat. I said,
what?
Why don't we do a bet? He said, oh, yeah, we can do a bet. I said, okay, I don't want this thing. Let's do $100 bet. And long story short, he took the bet. Vijay took the bet. And you know what? He lost the bet. All right.
Okay, but I need to know what time did you bet with him? What time did you bet with him?
It was sometime in your evening or your night. Okay, it was late
After 10 p.m.
After 10 p.m. Anything that Vijay says is not counted.
No, this is around 1 o'clock in the night or something like that. That's when he called me. I think one of his kids woke up or something like that. We had this discussion.
Wow.
We had this bet. He lost the bet. And you know what, Parthu? I want to acknowledge before everybody that he actually paid me the $100. All right. So I want to give him. Oh yes, I got the $100. So I want to give him credit for that, for being a man of his word and giving me the $100. Because if he did give me the $100, also I would have told that Vijay took a bet and lost the bet and did not honor the bet. You get my point?
Okay.
So at least Vijay can walk with his head high.
Okay, I'm gonna start betting with him after 10:30.
Anyway, all right. Let's go on. But yeah.
All right. So, but one thing, I mean, Stars versus Dynamites. Even though we are going with Stars has lost a lot of players. So, they need to be careful. It's not going to be like it's not a very one-sided game. I feel.
All right, and moreover, the effort is starting this week. So let's see who all Star can bring on the board to play.
Yep. All right. Next game. All 5 of us are on Glads. Who does Glad play?
Thunderbolts.
We are playing Avi and Thunderbolts.
Right. So I think that's going to be a pretty one-sided game. I feel Thunderbolts, even though I feel they might give a challenge.
Avi is going to take that as a challenge and prove you wrong.
All right, we will check on that. Detroit Titans. Who do you guys play, Gabaji?
FCC.
Who? FCC. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody's with you. GLCC plays strikers. Everybody is on
Oh, Parthiv,
GLCC.
even you have gone on the GLCC bandwagon. I mean, seriously?
I have not.
Parthiv, I
I am
think
completely.
Parthiv, we did not pick striker against Detroit Bulls as well. So forget about against GLCC.
I am. I am. I am so pissed with my team management right now that if somebody just comes in front of me, I'm going to be really mad at them. The way the team has been handled. So I'm totally. I'm just playing as a player right now. So, anyways,
Oh,
till
so
next.
looks like an existential crisis is coming up.
Yes, it is going to be. If I'm pretty sure if we don't go in division, I mean, if we don't stay in division one, there could be existential
Okay.
crisis. We'll see, but hopefully we stay, get some wins. All right, Pokri's Detroit Bulls. Okay, again Chetan by going rogue.
See, now I'll catch up with Chetan Bhai. I hope that Pokri's what's that? Vicky is going to do me some favors. I need him to do me some favors.
All right, then KRCC again. Total unanimously on KRCC. Who do they play?
KRCC is playing local boys.
Tough call. Yeah, for local boys.
Yeah, it depends again how many players from 40 has been affected. So because last week,
Parthiv, I am very sure Chetan Tucker is in Las Vegas and he's drunk. He's going totally rogue. You get my point? I mean, he has picked the underdog everywhere.
Not even an underdog. I don't think in some cases they have even a chance. I mean, underdogs, there is at least a chance. I don't think in this case some of these there is even a chance. Fighters, Stingers, Fighters 4, Stingers 1, Pochetan 5. Spartans, everybody's on Spartans, everybody's on Rebel. Who are the Spartans and Rebels playing? Poor guys.
Spartans, if you ask me, Rebels are playing Michigan Mavericks and Spartans are
New team.
playing the Farmington Risers.
So are you guys also doing the same logic that I'm doing? Like I'm picking the ones that I know. Like between the two teams, if one is known and one is unknown, I'm picking the known.
Parthiv, do you want to know the logic which I am using now? Because I'm so clueless about Division 2. I have recruited one Division 2 guy and told me, you make all the picks in Division 2 for me. Okay, you tell me whatever you pick in Division 2, that's what I'm picking.
I can see why you are going backwards now.
So only Division 1 is my picks. All the Division 2 picks are somebody else's picks. Because I know by now, I have no clue. I don't even know the names.
Yeah, I mean it's very tough because even when I check the roster, it's hard to figure out like who these guys are. So
Parthiv, I'm looking at the roster and I can't. I think one of the teams. I think it's the Risers. The only person I know is Ravidev Chalanti. Everybody else, I have no clue about.
Yep. Yeah, so I think I've just used that thumb rule of picking the known teams versus the unknown teams.
Yeah, that's right.
I think Agni, you know more than Motor City.
Yeah, Agni and Motor City, that we know. But I think Agni, I've picked Motor City. I mean, I think Motor City, I've seen them play. I've seen them play.
I would say this is a similar kind of situation. Pokris versus Bulls or Star versus Dynamite kind of situation.
Yeah.
Agni has a good talent. I think they have somehow Ramesh has got few new players that I see in a different tournament and they look solid, at least for Motor City type of team. But let's see. I don't know. I don't want to discount Motor City, but FCC looks stronger.
All right. Vikings and Challengers Detroit. Again, I'm the only one who's picked Royal Challengers Detroit.
Vikings is the Kings 11.
I must have messed that up. I thought Royal Challengers is the Kings 11. All right. Never mind. I think this is early on taking some gamble is not a bad idea. Racha Riders. Everybody's on Racha Riders. Oh, Master Blaster and Marvels. This is interesting. 3:2. This is the only one which is 3:2. I'm pretty sure Master Blasters, I have just randomly picked. I have no Marvels. I know last year didn't win a game. So I'm hoping that the Master Blasters is better than that.
You picking for your love for Sachin Tendulkar? Master
Yeah.
Blaster.
So that is the only game where then Punjab Scorpions and Phantoms. Okay, that is also interesting because we have
That was a tough pick, Parthiv.
yeah. All right. So you and Satya and Chetan are with Phantoms. We are all with Scorpions. Avengers get all the votes, and so do Warriors. So all in all, I think not too many tough predictions this week. Not too many showcase game of the week nominations this week. All right.
Parthiv, the way we are predicting, right? We are most of the time we are 90% plus same on the division 1, but the conflicts are starting on the division 2.
Yeah,
So maybe
the division 2 are the ones that
winners
can.
who are reading the division 2 better can win this one.
That's true. Somebody who knows division 2 better.
Now
All
I
right,
have to find Vijubhai source who is predicting for him so that I can think alike.
I know it's that guy. He's the Avengers captain. Maybe he's the Avengers captain. The former guy.
Okay.
He's
Gautam.
the guy. Yes, Gautam.
Yeah. Okay, so this is currently they recorded 30, another 4 days to go, but this is the outside prediction results.
All right.
But overall, we are doing great, Satya. I think we have number of prediction has increased, right? Earlier we used to have around 20.
I think part of the thing is that I think he's sending reminders.
Lot of
I think that was the biggest problem, if you ask me.
Yeah,
right? By sending a reminder, people now realize that they have an opportunity.
The only game that looks like that one, that pie, and the other last one are the two interesting. Oh no, there's one, the green and the orange one at the top as well. Like which one is that?
Royal Challenger one looks very close, 43-56.
Oh, my eyes are really. I can read.
Oh.
How come Scorpions and Phantoms have the same color?
Now, like I initially messed up, so I just left it. Next time I'll fix it. So
okay.
Initially I left before people are entering from the old ones.
So looks, Parthiba, let's look the game number 12, Royal Challenger Detroit and Viking. From our prediction, for our panel, we are more people on the Viking side, but the community looks different, right? More people think
more people on the Challengers. Yeah. Good.
So that is an interesting game to look.
I'm on the Challenger side. Which is that last one? Which is the last one? Which is
Canton Hurricane, Gujarat Warriors.
Oh, that is interesting as well. Canton Hurricanes is
14, Gujarat Warriors 16. So
wow.
That is surprising that it is that close.
So didn't Gujarat Warriors top group Division 2 last year?
No, they lost in a quarterfinal, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
they lost. That was the shock loss.
Okay.
They were top of the table and they lost the first game.
Yeah, they were top of the league at the league stage, and then they lost.
Yeah, and they lost the very first game.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think that was the game where there was some LBW decisions controversy, if I'm not mistaken.
Your memory is too good for me. I have no idea. I can't even remember what happened in Striker game.
So this is our new fantasy. What people picked. I got only like 5 to 6 teams right now. So these are the winners last week. So, but these are the picks. How many people picked who? Like Manoj 3, Vignesh 3, Mahesh,
Manoj Prabhakar, top pick.
Praveen,
Wow.
TK, and Srinivas Elimalai leading by the picks. Everybody. So yeah, and this is the results. So Vamsi is leading 21, and Tejas. And
Gaba and Vamsi are tied, Satya. So
first 3 are tied, but I'm just copy pasted. So it's Our first three are same points. So
Yeah.
and
20.
Parthiv is in
Okay.
second.
Okay, we are one behind. That's fine. I can.
Yeah.
Where's
And-
Viju?
Parthiv, I'm in last
Dude.
place behind Chetan Thakkar also, you know.
Oh my God, that is. Did you have a bad first week?
No,
What happened?
this is the ultimate insult. I cannot digest this more than the Glad's loss. Let me tell you that.
Chetan has to take a picture of this and keep it
But
separately.
I am pretty confident after this week, Chetan will go back to the old position of becoming the last place. You see?
Oh my God.
So,
All right.
Yeah,
So
it's just starting. We have a lot of games to come.
yeah, it's going to be a lot
There
of.
are 270 games.
All right,
Anyway.
guys. Looks like the season is just starting to get really interesting. The first 2 weeks, I think we had a couple of good games, but I think as we roll into the season, as summer sets in, I think even the conditions will change. We'll get a lot of like dry surfaces. Hopefully, that means better scores, and the weather stays warmer. Last 2 weekends have been horrible. In terms of temperatures in the morning. So hopefully things are getting warmer and summer is coming in, and
This week
games are
looks good.
this week starting to look good. So hopefully we'll have a good days of cricket in the next weekend.
And Parthibai, great job. We are on 2 hours mark. That is what our target is. So
Yes, I have been. That's my mission this this season is to finish prime time within 2 hours. So if we have
yeah,
to
but
skip,
I think we skipped a lot of games. That's the only way we
that,
can make it work.
yeah, but I think that's what we got to do. Is like I think we got to pick games based on performances and how close they are, or if there's something interesting which makes the game stand out. I think we can safely skip some of the one-sided ones. All
Yeah.
right.
But anyway,
Thanks,
congrats to
everyone.
all the winners, and nice to see all of you guys after a long time.
Yes, it's
yeah,
exciting.
same
Another
here.
season.
All
All
right.
right.